Hello, everyone. This is Valarie Marie, and this is the It Gets to the Point podcast. And I thank you all for joining me on this beautiful Sunday, the fourth day of the year of 2026. And today, we're going to get into some things. I'm pretty sure a lot of us have had more so tedious years. I wouldn't necessarily say 2025 for me was a uncomfortable year. Maybe 2024, but 2025 for me was more so tedious. The growing pains, just going through different things and trying to figure it all out and just continuing to pour into my creativity and career and all of the things, honey. I am glad that I am in a space where I have done the work and continue to do the work and continue to be the best version of myself that I can possibly be. Thus, I do not have all the answers and I don't know everything. I do try my best to be as clear and what my intentions is in this world and what energy I'm able to give out in a way to assist and assess. So I do want to discuss the feminine divine more so on a level whereas us as women, how we need to give ourselves time. What I've learned just using myself as a prototype, there are going to be days where you just don't have the energy. There's going to be days where you just cannot. And as much as we are always on the go and taking care of the family and feeling the need to always be apart, it is okay to not be okay. And as I said in a couple of other episodes, that a delay is not a denial. It is also okay to not always be okay. We preach a lot of sermons about all the things that we have been through and how life has made us uncomfortable, but I've yet to see anybody discuss how it is okay not to feel 100% all the time. Nobody feels 100% all the time. And it's almost like we have to fool ourselves, like we have to act like we're okay when we're not. I consider those for me, to be resting periods. Whereas I take time and get me some rest when I feel my body is slowing down or I'm becoming sensitive. I know when to check out. I know myself, I know my body, and I know when I just need to relax and I need to decompress and I need to just take some time for Valarie. Now, everybody may not understand why you need to take that time. And some people may or may not respect it, but that's when boundaries come into play. A lot of us in 2026, I am hoping and praying that we create those boundaries so that we won't feel guilty for telling people, I just cannot make it to that event. And I also hope on our social medias, we also stop that monitoring spirit type of behavior by just watching people's pages and not saying anything. I find that to be very rude when a person wants to lurk on your page. They love your content. They actually see it as a mood board or inspo, but they like nothing. I hope we keep those weird, unusual behaviors online in these different on these different platforms and social medias in 2025. And I also hope we continue to stress the importance of mental health and how when you, no matter the career that you are in, it is vital that you take care of yourself. And, there's been certain situations when it came to certain, entertainers and influencers and content creators and things of that nature, that anytime when someone discuss their mental health or not feeling like themselves, it just seems like it's almost debunked. And Being that I have worked in that field some years ago and have a lot of education on mental health, I feel like it is highly important. Your mental health does matter. How you feel if you just don't have the capacity to entertain. All money is not good money. And what we have to realize is that you're not going to always be available for everybody. You're not going to always be able to entertain everything. We are not robots. We are human beings. And sometimes we get tired and burnt out. And sometimes we need time to figure out what it is that we actually want. Sort some things out that have been making us very uncomfortable. And it may be to the point to where you may have to be a little selfish, because sometimes when things are not going a way that is consistent for your growth and your healing, somebody may get their feelings hurt in the process, unfortunately. But when you're a good person, right, and you've done all that you can do, I would say don't be so hard on yourself, especially when you know that next person, that next business opportunity, it just doesn't sit well in your spirit. And I'm a true believer that what is intentional for you, any mentorships, any networks, any careers, any jobs, like what is for you, it's going to happen. Thus, it may not happen on our time. And as human beings, we do tend to get a little impatient when things are not going according to the timing that we want it to go to. But it does not mean it's not going to happen, because again, it goes back to what I said a couple of episodes ago. A delay is not a denial. We just have to learn how to peace to be still and stop trying to control the narrative. You know, I get we want all the things. We want the family, we want the car, we want the house, we want the financial security, the multiple sources of of incomes. But everything takes time. Rome was not built overnight, baby. And you have so many people trying to destiny swap or farm other people's gifts and talents, but it never lasts, because if it's not intentional, it's not real. If it's not authentic, it burns out. So I never try to act like anyone. I never try to dress like anyone. I never try to be like anyone, because I'm my own self. Now, if someone is inspired by me, that's totally different. Or if I'm inspired by them, but I've never been the type of woman that's felt that I've ever had to follow behind crowds or be a part of any type of general circle to feel good. Now, thus, I know a lot of people have suffered with that and have had to take the role of the main character, maybe high school, middle school, it girl. And then as you get older and wiser, you just realize how traumatizing some of those social roles were. Now, for me, I would consider myself a bit of a black sheep, because I've never fit in. I'm a Libra and I'm very indifferent. And then, let me tell you, I need my balance, baby. I cannot deal with the antics. It be cute, but then when it's not, it's time to go. It's time to go home and rest and get you something to eat and sit down somewhere. You know, that's just me. Like, I enjoy it when I enjoy it, but I have limits and boundaries, and I have had to do that to protect my energy. And thus, as you get older and you educate yourself on how vital it is to protect your energy, that everything is not going to be for you. Every person you come into contact with is not going to always understand you. And there is going to be some people that will test you. And it's not the test that is going to be the problem. The problem is when we allow what and whom is testing us to trigger our subconscious and conscious. Because sometimes people end goal, unfortunately, in this world, is to be miserable, and they're looking for company. They literally get up in the morning and put their clothes on and look for trouble. And they come into these businesses and establishments that are catered to customer service base, and they try to make your day hard. For me, I am learning to give back the peace when people give nasty. Because I didn't sleep with you last night. I don't even know your name. I don't know you personally for all of that projected energy to be coming my way. And a lot of people be dealing with stuff and they just almost in a way have to find a way to get it off. Like even though they can't tell the person that they're upset with or make peace with that thing that has driven them wild or insane, they want to make you their target because it's easier with a stranger. But from me to you, we are setting healthier boundaries. Now, that's not to say we won't have a bad day and won't make mistakes because no one is perfect. It's to say that we're not going to allow or try to control what the next man is doing, even if somebody's doing something fairly weird. Generally, we can't take it personal because people are who they are. And a lot of people, they won't change. You just have to do the best that you can to be the best version of yourself and just send a blessing up. Pray for them. What a fool. Like, it is a lot of people that have been through a lot of things. And I think right now, everybody is just kind of like soul searching to an extent to where we are all just kind of taking it in that certain things is what it is situation. Certain things is there's really nothing you can do and you just need to back off, and other situations is just let it grow, let it glow. Control what you can control and just decompress. um Life is a hell of a journey and it can make you very uncomfortable. Growing pains don't just stop when you get out of high school or college. Your entire life, from what I'm learning using myself as the prototype, it's always something new I'm learning at 41 years old. It's always a change happening. Some changes, most changes for me are pretty much almost happening in a way to where it's beneficial. That anytime something or someone that has made me uncomfortable, because I try at least a good 90% to try to be the best version of myself. I'm not one of those egotistical individuals that if I have done something to someone that I can't be accountable and say, you know what, I apologize. Like, I'm really a people person by nature, so it's nothing to it. I'm not that prideful. But I'm learning that some of the journeys that we will go on within this life, the people who started with you sometimes are not going to always be there. And it's nothing to take personal because as adults, we all have a life, and some of us are more vocal and more sharing about what we go through, and others of us are more private and discreet. So I'm going to not charge it to the head when people do things that is weird to me. I'm just going to continue to be the best version of Valarie that I can be and continue to pour good energy and speak life into those people that reciprocate it. Because listen here, you can want what's best for people, but people have to want what is best for them. You can want your child, your partner, your co-workers, you can want the best for others. But if a person don't want to change their wicked ways, if they just don't want to change whom they are, you're not responsible for their interactions. You're responsible for your interactions. And a person that is not living right, more so being ugly, on an ugly note, eventually that karmatic energy will catch up with them, because you're not, who died and made you king or queen to just go around mentally abusing people? And a lot of times people be getting karmatic cycles and they forgot what they had just did a couple of hours ago and how rude and nasty they were to an establishment, a worker that was working just trying to feed their family. Like, a lot of people don't understand that being rude and nasty is, it's not a vibe. It does not make you look good. It does not give you any brownie points. It's just time out to being nasty. And that has nothing to do with age. It just gets to a point where we just have to take accountability and change the things that we are able to change, and the things that we cannot, just send it to the universe. Because trying to babysit other people's feelings and trying to promote or provoke and project, regardless of if it's in a positive enlightenment or not, everybody ain't gonna get it. Everybody don't want to get it. Some people enjoy being mean, and some people are so deeply rooted in their trauma ties and experiences throughout life that in order for them to move forward, they have to forgive certain versions of them that they need to let go, because it's hindering and causing them to be stagnant. Now, I know this podcast journey for me is new, and it's not going to be perfect. I will have to like get with some video people that are really good with technology to perfect my intro page, but I like when I can see my journey, so I don't really care about perfection right now. And maybe years later, if I stay consistent with it, I'll be like, oh, I remember when I was first starting off, because I want to see the levels unlock when it comes to the consistency and my preciseness of developing the It Gets to a Point podcast. Because I always wanted things to work out, for me and for others. And I have always been the type of person that has always believed in myself, and get back 10. In the great words of Cardi B, like, I'm so Libra and so big on don't give up on you, Valarie. Keep going. Keep growing. Keep glowing. Like, even when the days are hard, even when I don't understand, I try my best to not give up so easily and try to make things make sense. And another new thing that I'm learning that is actually good for me is I'm at the point where I don't even have the bandwidth to respond to foolishness. So some things that I used to be responsive to and do, I just don't do it anymore. I don't even get caught up in it. If you don't like me, cool. If you don't want to be around me, cool. Listen, the less the merrier for me. I'm not one of the type of people that want a whole bunch of people hang around me anyway. Too many cooks in the kitchen, baby. Some bound to get burned. I am perfectly okay that everyone is not going to agree with me. I am perfectly okay that there will be people that will be drawn to me. Because, like, when you do stuff that is people oriented, you can't pick and choose the energy that you're going to interact with. You just have to learn to have some thick skin and just understand that if you're doing any type of people job, it does not matter if it's creative or if it's, on another level, like dealing with people and energy and money, any of the things, all of the things, there's always gonna be a little tussle here and there. That's what I learned. It's all, even if you just trying to help a person, sometimes depending on the type of energy of that other individual, it may be a little tussle. Because some people only know their way. They're really stubborn and they only know their way. So they don't know, or it hasn't processed to them so that they are rude and nasty, or how they come off can be passive or nonchalant. Like, some people don't really get it, but I personally don't feel it's my place, where I'm at in my life, to try to get people to own up who they are. You are who you are, and I am who I am, and I'm not going to apologize for me, and you're not going to apologize for you. And that's perfectly okay, because we have a kabillion million people around the world, and I'm not sweating no one and nobody. So that's just where I am with it. And as a mother, as a worker, my continued drive is to be the best version of me that I can, and pivot into the greatest versions of myself, because I know that there are more people like me that have a story, that's experienced some things, and take nothing to heart. Like, my story is quite intense, and can be a living testimony to somebody. And the fact I pride myself and take great ownership in how being a difference maker and just keep going. Like, didn't allow my circumstances or situations throughout my life to stop me. Um, and I am content. I have never felt better. And it's crazy how when you get older, when you have experienced certain traumatizing situations as a child, as a young adult, like I have never felt better mentally. And I am truly grateful to be able to see 41 because a lot of my classmates in the past didn't get to see 41. Some of them didn't even get to see college, fresh out of high school. So I know I have a purpose and a plan, and I'm going to continue to carry. I don't know all the things. I do not have all the answers, but I will continue to do my best to give what I'm able to give. But there's going to be time where baby girl got to get her rest. I got to switch hands. And I'm not going to always be available because I do have those boundaries. Because I know, sorry, hair was in my eye, that I am the type of person that I don't like burning myself out. I don't like overly doing things because I know I'll get tired. And because I am taking my podcast seriously, because I do want this to be a successful podcast, the It Gets to the Point podcast featuring Valarie Marie, I know that it's going to take time. And eventually I will evolve to have other conversations and eventually have guests. And it may take years, who knows? I just know that it's something that I want to do because I'm a person that I enjoy talking, I enjoy speaking, I enjoy having conversations with people, good conversations. So as a person that love conversation, conversing, I know that this is my lane. So even if it feels uncomfortable at first, you got to trust the flow in the process. Rome wasn't built overnight. And I'm not going to beat myself up over trying to perfect anything. It is what it is. If it's something that you want to do, just do it. The rest will come. Everything that you need will come. So that's just that on that. And, we just have to continue to be the best versions of ourselves that we can. We are not going to always have it all together. We are not going to always understand, but it's okay. So don't try to beat yourself up about every single thing. It'll come to you when it comes to you. That's the best advice, life advice I can give you. That if you are feeling sad or feeling down, try to do something to make you feel good and upbeat. And sometimes it may take a couple of days to get back to yourself. It may even take therapy, but that is okay. It is okay not to be okay all the time. But whatever you do, don't go off the deep end. If you can help it, get the help, get the therapy, have the conversation if need be with your team of people you can entrust in. And just continue to live your life, because to live and not feel like you're alive or to feel empty, that's the worst feeling in the world. Because the level of ungratefulness it displays, to have all the things you have and you just can't see any good in it. I don't want to be that person. I want to be grateful that I have a life. I want to be grateful that I am in a stable place, because it is somebody that is dealing with some things. And my story is not your story, and your story is not my story. But I'll tell you what, nobody gave me anything. I put myself through college. I got my degree in business and administration. I went back to school after I had my youngest daughter, which is now going on 16. I choose to do the work. I made sacrifices and left jobs when I knew it wasn't for me. I've worked multiple jobs as a once single mother in the past. I did all the things because I knew that in order for me to get out of that rut or to get out of that situation, I was going to have to do something. And where I'm from in the South, education was pretty much the only thing that I felt for me that was at reach to where I could change the status quo for me. So sometimes you have to make the sacrifice. Thus, I was so nervous, I would never forget it when I applied for the University of Phoenix. I was so nervous and I will never forget it. And the financial advisor that I had, because for me as a leaver, I literally had overthought everything, like, oh my God, am I going to be able to do this, that, and the third? And I did really well when I was in school. And I was so happy. And when I graduated, it was around COVID time. So we actually had to do a virtual graduation. You can actually see me on University of Phoenix virtual graduation on YouTube. 2021, I think, or 2022, one of them. 2021. Hold on. I think 2021. Don't quote me. Or 2022 class. So never give up. Never give up. And it doesn't have anything to do with age. Girl, if you are in your 70s and you want to go back to school, do it. Guys, if you feel like you want to try to open up a business, we have to stop allowing age and time to stop us from wanting to do things that make us feel good. You got people almost 90 years old that are content creators and doing numbers better than me. And I am loving it for them, because if you have breath in your body, why not do the things that make you feel good? And if you can monetize and make money off of just being yourself, why not? Okay? So that is what it's all about. Like, we put so much strain on, oh, that one's old and that one's young and this is that. Like, what does that have to do with personality? What does that have to do with anything? Like, if I still am able to get out here and hang with the best of them, then baby, that's my prerogative. But don't try to put any type of stipulations on me because you can't do it. Okay? We two different people, baby. So shout out to the men and the women that are in their 40s like me, they late 30s and going on down and still living a good life and not allowing these projecting folk to tell you what you can and cannot do. If you got the money, you got the time, why not? Okay? Because life is to be lived. We spend too much of our time given to our job and to our careers. We see more of our careers in our jobs, so to speak, than we do our families. So when you have time to go on a vacation, take advantage of it. Because there is someone that is not in a financial place or space to be able to do it, and you are. What's a man to gain the world to lose his soul? What is a woman or a man to gain the world to lose his soul? And not care enough to just work, make a bag, and you can't even do anything. You're just making money. You can't spend it. You can't go out. You can't enjoy it. You can't go with your family because you want more. Learn to read the room. Take the time. Take the family vacations. Continue to do the things that bring you light and love. Don't get mad when things don't always work out or go to plan. Pick yourself up and try again. That's just what I do. Like, I am far from perfect, but I try my best to be the best that I can. Okay? And guess what? All money ain't good money. So we want to make money, we want to provide, but we don't want to do things to hurt anybody. You know what I mean? So I am perfectly okay if it's going to take time for this podcast to grow. I'm okay with whatever it is the good Lord and the universe is going to do. Because guess what? I ain't pressed, okay? But I do enjoy creating. And I know that I am that is the gift that was given to me at birth. And I'm not going to stop. And I advise you that if you're a creator too, you do your thing as well. So that is just what this episode is about. Forever learning. Forever learning that Things are going to change and evolve, and there's really nothing we can do about it. We just have to try to master the crafts and master the evolving of life. And if we don't know how to do something, we can ask for help and put the pride to the side. Life is forever evolving. And this year of 2026, I'm hoping everybody can have a pretty decent year. Now, I am not the one to say we're going to all have a good year. I just want to wish everybody the best, because I'm not the type of person that negatively project on others. I would rather wish you life and wish you well. That's just me. So that is what this podcast is about today. Forever learning, because we are forever learning, and I am hoping in 2026 we are able to create better social media habits, life habits, health habits, mental health habits, so that we can win big. Okay, I want you to win. I pray you want me to win. We got this. We're going to have a hell of a year in a good way. We're going to the concerts. We're going to the dining. We are going to enjoy not only working and making money and being successful, but also doing things that bring us fun, activities, habits, reading books, going out, whatever your thing is. Okay, my thing is my thing, your thing is your thing. To each his own. But I am hoping that everyone can live a little more. Because to live and to be alive is a great thing. We have breath in our body. We have food on our tables. It's time for us to act. It's time for us to be thankful and grateful and take some time with family. Take the vacation. Have boundaries with the job. Have boundaries with the career. And understand it is okay to take a break and relax and enjoy everything that you've accomplished. All right. So we are forever learning. This is the fourth episode of It Gets to a Point podcast, featuring your girl, me, Valerie Marie. And this episode is forever learning. I hope that you all have a great 2026 and just continue to speak life. Y'all take care. Have a good day.